You'd think all green vegetables are good for you. But the truth is, some can buy you another 10 years of health, while others can land you in the back of an ambulance on a perfectly normal morning. Sounds shocking. It should. Most people believe stroke comes from too much salt, alcohol, or smoking. But very few know that some vegetables, yes, vegetables, can silently raise your risk of stroke, high blood pressure, and even brain bleeding. That's not because you're not eating enough greens. It's because you may be eating the wrong ones. I've met countless older folks across the US, good people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who try their best to eat healthy. But they were unknowingly sabotaging their health with certain vegetables that affect blood pressure, damage artery walls, and disrupt blood flow to the brain. And for seniors, those little disruptions can turn into something far worse. Slurred speech. Collapsed limbs. A life changed in seconds. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 4 vegetables you should avoid, and 4 that you must eat every single day if you want to protect your brain, your mobility, and your independence. And I'm not just pulling this from the air. Everything I'll share is backed by medical research from Harvard, the Mayo Clinic, and stories from real seniors who've seen dramatic improvements just by changing the vegetables on their plate. Now let me ask you, which veggie do you think is praised as a superfood but could actually trigger a stroke in older adults? Leave your guess in the comments below. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I've got something special for you. A downloadable list of the 4 vegetables to avoid, and 4 to eat. A 21-day blood pressure meal tracker. And a few quick tips for prepped veggie products that make healthy eating easier for those living alone. And up next, I'll reveal the first fake healthy vegetable that's causing more harm than help for people over 60. You won't want to miss this. People often think eating greens is the safest thing you can do for your health. But here's what they don't realize: for those over 60, some vegetables can quietly increase the risk of stroke, even if they look harmless on your plate. Let's start with one that might shock you. Tomatoes. Yep, raw tomatoes. They contain a compound called solanine. According to WebMD and Mayo Clinic, solanine can cause inflammation in blood vessels, especially in older adults. That inflammation increases the chances of blood clots, one of the silent triggers behind ischemic strokes. I remember Margaret from Chicago, 68 years old. She made it her mission to stay youthful. Started every day with a raw tomato salad, thinking it was the secret to radiant skin. But one morning, she woke up, unable to speak. It was a minor stroke. Her doctor traced it back to chronic low-level inflammation, and raw tomatoes were a key factor. When she stopped eating them and switched to safer greens, she told me, "It's like the fog lifted. My mind feels calm again." Let's keep going. Spinach. Sounds healthy. But for some, it's risky. Spinach is high in oxalates. These bind to calcium, making it harder for your body to absorb the mineral. The result? Muscle cramps, blood vessel constriction, and even kidney stones can add pressure to your system. Daniel from Ohio, 72, loved his spinach smoothies every morning. But after a few months, he noticed his legs were shaky, and he felt off balance. A visit to the doctor confirmed it: high oxalates. Once he swapped spinach for kale and collard greens, he felt stronger, more grounded, as he put it. Now here's one that hides in plain sight: potatoes. Potatoes have a very high glycemic index. That means they spike your blood sugar quickly, which can damage tiny blood vessels in your brain, especially dangerous for folks managing diabetes. Take Robert in Texas, 75. He loved mashed potatoes with dinner. But soon after adding it to his regular meals, he started feeling dizzy after eating, sometimes even a little disoriented. His doctor flagged it as glycemic stress. When he switched to steamed cauliflower instead, within a week, no more dizzy spells. "I feel clearer after dinner," he said. And finally, beets. Yes, they're colorful, full of antioxidants, but also packed with oxalates. They can raise your risk of kidney stones, and when your kidneys struggle, your blood pressure goes up. And we all know, high blood pressure is one of the biggest risk factors for stroke. Evelyn from Florida, 69, would treat herself to beets every Sunday. But after months, her blood pressure crept up, and she started feeling lower back pain. Her doctor suggested cutting back on the beets. She did. And in a few weeks, her BP dropped, and her energy came back. So, if you're eating these veggies thinking you're doing the right thing, just know they may not be right for your body at this stage in life. And the good news? In the next part, I'll show you the 4 vegetables that do the opposite. They help prevent strokes, clear your arteries, and keep your brain sharper for longer. Stick with me. There's one truth we simply can't ignore: just one serving of the right vegetable each day could cut your stroke risk by 10 to 30%. That's the quiet power hiding in the greens we see on our dinner plates every day. 1. Kale. You know, there's one leafy green the first never skip a day without: kale. Not because it's trendy. Not because it's on every healthy recipe blog. But it's quietly one of the most powerful protectors of your brain's blood vessels. Kale is packed with potassium, and this mineral does something incredible. It gently relaxes your blood vessels, reducing the pressure inside them. Studies have shown that people with higher potassium intake can lower their risk of stroke by as much as 13%. And if that's not enough, kale also delivers one of the highest amounts of vitamin K in any vegetable, nearly 565 micrograms in just a handful. Why does that matter? Vitamin K helps prevent calcification in your arteries. Think of it like keeping your plumbing clear, smooth, and flexible. No clogs. No leaks. Just healthy blood flow to your brain. Harvard researchers found that diets rich in leafy greens, especially kale, can cut the risk of ischemic stroke by around 10%. That's the kind of stroke caused by blocked blood vessels. And it's the most common type, especially in people over 60. Let me tell you about Helen, a 74-year-old piano teacher from Oregon. She suffered a mild stroke that left half her body weak, and her ability to play piano gone. She was devastated. Music was her memory, her identity. But instead of giving up, she made a quiet promise to herself, and started small. Every evening, 1 bowl of steamed kale with a drizzle of olive oil. 3 months later, she called me with a voice full of joy. "Harold," she said, "I just played my favorite song. With both hands." That moment wasn't just recovery. It was a return. A revival of something deeply human: joy, memory, and the feeling of being yourself again. So, how do I recommend you use kale? Keep it simple. Steam it lightly, just 2 to 3 minutes with a little garlic and olive oil. Or toss it into a salad with avocado and crushed walnuts for a heart-healthy boost. Now, if kale is the leafy shield protecting your arteries, then next up, we'll talk about a vegetable that might be sitting in your kitchen right now, one that many people trust, but that quietly raises stroke risk when eaten raw. Trust me, this one will surprise you. 2. Broccoli. You know, some vegetables don't need much introduction, but they do deserve to be better understood. Broccoli is one of them. What makes broccoli so powerful for stroke prevention is a compound called sulforaphane. It's a potent antioxidant that helps sweep away free radicals, those invisible troublemakers that damage blood vessels and silently set the stage for clots and strokes. There was a study from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health showing that people who ate broccoli 3 to 5 times a week had up to a 17% lower risk of high blood pressure. Why? Because sulforaphane doesn't just protect the inside walls of your arteries, it also helps relax the smooth muscles around them, allowing blood to flow more freely and lowering pressure naturally. Let me tell you about Daniel, 68, a retired truck driver from Minnesota. For years, he brushed off the warning signs: headaches, numbness in his arms, thinking it was just part of the job. One day, he had to pull over mid-route because the dizziness got so bad. Doctors later told him he was dangerously close to having a stroke. I still remember his call, "Harold, I used to laugh at salads." But the doc said if I didn't change, I might not get another chance to call anyone again. Since that day, Daniel started making broccoli soup for lunch. Cooking it with onions, carrots, and a pinch of black pepper to help boost the absorption of sulforaphane. 3 months later, he called me again, "Harold, for the first time in years, I climbed the stairs at home without grabbing the railing. My heartbeat didn't pound like a war drum anymore." What Daniel regained wasn't just physical strength, it was the peace of mind that he was back in control of his own body. And that's something many of us crave after 60. Here's how you can get the most out of broccoli. Steam it lightly for 3 to 4 minutes. That keeps the sulforaphane intact. Toss it with olive oil or flaxseed oil for better nutrient absorption. Avoid overcooking, it kills off the good stuff. And if you thought broccoli was impressive, wait until you hear about the next vegetable. It doesn't just support your blood vessels, it helps protect your brain, too. I'll share more in the next part. 3. Okra. You know, when people ask me about natural ways to manage high blood pressure, I always bring up celery. Not because it's trendy, but because it works. Celery contains something called phthalates. These little compounds help relax the walls of your blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow. The Mayo Clinic even published research showing that people who ate celery regularly saw their systolic blood pressure drop by 7 to 8 points in just 6 weeks. No pills. No side effects. Just celery. It also acts as a natural diuretic. But here's the key difference: unlike medications, celery doesn't drain your body of vital minerals. It helps your body release excess fluid gently, without causing weakness or dehydration. I remember Patricia, 68, from California. She had been taking diuretics for years, but the side effects were starting to catch up with her: lightheadedness, fatigue, that dizzy feeling every time she stood up. She asked me if there was a gentler way. I told her. Try a small glass of fresh celery juice in the morning. Just 3 weeks. She did. And what she told me after? I feel like I'm breathing again. My body doesn't feel heavy anymore. It's like turning back the clock. That's the quiet power of food when it's in sync with your body. Here's how I recommend using it. Start with 100 milliliters of fresh celery juice in the morning, just enough to get things moving. Or chop it into your soup or salad. A sprinkle of sea salt or a dash of lemon makes it easier to enjoy, and even boosts the absorption of the nutrients inside. Now here's something to think about. What if I told you that 2 bowls of salad can look exactly the same, but one helps protect your brain, while the other raises your risk of stroke? That's coming up next. You'll want to see this. If I placed 2 plates of leafy greens in front of you, both looking equally fresh and healthy, but told you that one plate could quietly protect your heart while the other might secretly push you closer to a stroke, would you know the difference? See, when we talk about stroke, most folks think of salt, smoking, or greasy food. But what they forget is that some of the real dangers lie in what we eat every single day, thinking it's good for us. Let me break it down. Tomatoes, especially the green, underripe kind, contain a compound called solanine. It's a neurotoxin that can trigger inflammation in your blood vessels and mess with your heartbeat. Spinach, yes, even the healthy spinach, is packed with oxalates. These can block calcium absorption and increase the risk of vessel calcification, which is bad news for your brain. Now, look at potatoes. Harmless, right? But they rank high on the glycemic index. That means they spike your blood sugar fast, and over time, they wear down the tiny vessels in your brain, especially dangerous for folks with diabetes. Beets? Rich in nitrates, sure, but they also increase kidney pressure, and when eaten too often, they can lead to higher blood pressure, not less. Now contrast that with the rescue team of vegetables. Kale. Low in oxalates, high in potassium and magnesium. It supports clean, elastic arteries. Broccoli keeps blood sugar stable, helps protect the delicate capillaries in your brain. Celery, nature's blood pressure medicine, it's a gentle diuretic that doesn't drain your electrolytes. And okra, it's a quiet hero, reducing HbA1c, protecting vessel walls, and keeping blood flowing smoothly. So the question is, what's on your plate today? Are you fueling your heart and brain, or slowly wearing them down? Let me know in the comments, which vegetable surprised you the most today? What's one you used to think was good, but now you're second guessing? In the next part, I'll answer the most common questions. Should seniors eat vegetables raw or cooked? How often should you eat heart-friendly greens? And what does Harvard have to say about all this? Stick with me. You won't want to miss it. I've met many folks after a stroke, sitting in front of a bowl of plain porridge, holding back tears. Not because they were hungry, but because they realized, if only they had known this sooner, one simple meal a day might have changed everything. You don't have to wait until your body sends a warning. Let's start earlier, right now, with a meal that supports your brain, heart, and independence. Let me walk you through a simple, anti-stroke dinner, that's easy to make, gentle on digestion, and powerful in protecting your blood vessels. First up, celery soup. Light, hydrating, and naturally relaxing for your blood vessels. Mayo Clinic has noted that celery contains apigenin, a compound that reduces inflammation and supports healthy blood pressure. It's a simple, delicious way to keep your heart at ease. Next, steamed broccoli. Just 5 minutes of steaming keeps its vitamin K, C, and folate intact, nutrients that protect the delicate capillaries in your brain. It's light, filling, and easy for older adults to digest without bloating. And to complete the meal, a light okra salad tossed in olive oil. Okra helps lower blood sugar and bad cholesterol, two major stroke risks after 60. A drizzle of olive oil adds heart-healthy fats that act like liquid medicine for your arteries. Optional. A few slices of roasted tomato, if you're not sensitive to solanine, will add flavor and a touch of lycopene for extra support. And the best part? This dinner takes just 10 minutes to prepare. You're not giving up your favorite foods, you're simply adding one life-giving plate a day to stack the odds in your favor. Stick around, because next, I'll send you a free PDF cheat sheet with the 4 best and worst vegetables we discussed in this video. Plus, a 21-day action plan to rebuild your arteries one bite at a time. Let's keep going. You know, every day after 60 is truly a gift, if we know how to protect it. We've just uncovered 4 vegetables that quietly damage your blood vessels, and 4 powerful greens that work like natural medicine, helping you live longer, healthier, and more independently. Now it's time to act. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet. You just need to know which vegetables to choose, and make them part of your routine. To make it easy for you, I've put together a PDF guide summarizing the 4 best and worst vegetables. You'll also get a 21-day checklist to help you build heart-friendly eating habits step by step. And if you're short on time, I'll also share some recommended dried veggie products, convenient, senior-friendly, and widely available across the US. Just drop a comment below saying, "Send me the veggie list," and I'll send everything your way. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with friends or family. Especially those over 60, living alone, or managing high blood pressure or stroke risks. And before you go, if you care about what's on your breakfast plate, you won't want to miss the next video. 3 breakfast foods that increase stroke risk by 30%, yet many seniors eat them daily. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll continue walking this path together, staying healthy and independent beyond 60.